Hi, and welcome back. I should say welcome back to me. I was sick for a little bit, and it took me a while to recuperate. I had a dreadful cough, so it wasn't conducive to doing podcast since I don't edit. So in that time, though, I have recuperated. I have been on a week-long girls' week, of which I'll recap with you, of which I picked up a few things at a couple of lovely places, stores. And I do need to share with you that I did do another LYS visit. It's about 11 minutes long, and I'll be posting that as well. So, of a new store that I have never been to, in Engelwood, Florida, which is just below, it's down below Sarasota and Venice. So there's Sarasota, there's Venice, and I guess there's Engelwood after that. And it was a very pleasant visit. So I encourage all of you to go and see that little video and visit that very nice, very welcoming LYS, a local yarn store. Well, welcome back to the Knitting Concierge. I have no idea what episode this is. I think it's 6 or 7 or something like that. So what have I done? Well, while I was sick, not a darn thing. And I should use the other word. Nothing. I did nothing. But while I was on my week-long girls visit with my mom, my sister's best friend, and my best friend Carolyn, we hung out for an entire week in the Springs region of Florida, over by Spring Hill, Crystal River, all of those kinds of things where all of the sinkholes and springs are, and manatees as well at this time of year. It was a lovely visit. We like that spot because we love this little restaurant called the Front Porch. It's in Denellen, Florida, and they have lots of different pie, and hence the shirt. I'm just here for the pie that my friend Carolyn bought my sister and I, matching shirts, and we like to wear this when we go to eat pie. So we eat pie there. You'll also notice behind me is a beautiful quilt. Let me see if I can't get it better. It's home. It says, "Home is where my honey is." And it's all got these little cute little bees on there. And then there's little gnome beekeepers here. And there's the panel here. And then, and she made it to be a lap quilt. I think it's a lap quilt. Could be a twin size. I don't know exactly. But it's big enough for me to get under on the couch when my husband is insisting that it's too hot in the house, even though I am freezing. Welcome to being married. So I just wanted to share that with you. She does a lot of this work. My sister is Deanna Breeding, and she has, if you go on Instagrams or even on, just Google it, Seams Nice, SEAMSNICE, Seams Nice. And their company, my mom and my sister, and they are quilters, and they make all kinds of things. They make t-shirt quilts. They do burp cloths and little things, layette thingies, like burp cloths and receiving blankets and stuff for babies. They make baby quilts. They make quilts out of, I thought this was really interesting, deceased, like say your father has passed and he wore a tie every day to work. So he has like 50 ties. And my mom, or I think it's my mom or I can't remember which one it is, but one of them is making a tie quilt for a family member out of their father's old ties. My sister has done it out of clothing from a mom who's passed, all kinds of things. Sorry about that. But I just sit on a regular metal folding chair at this little table we have, a little chest table, and that's where I do my thing. But they do a lot of good work. They're excellent quality, and they wear very well. I have a big giant queen size one on my bed that I bought all the fabric for it. My sister and I have very different flavors of fabric choices. I tend to be more old, Civil War, Revolutionary War type era in the fabrics, and my sister tends to be more like 1930s, 50s kinds of things going on. So we have different flavors. So we went to Paducah when we were in a Paducah visit, and we went to the big fabric place there in Paducah, and we purchased the fabric there. And for a queen size quilt, it cost me about $300 back then. I have no idea what it would cost me now, but I'm about to find out because I'm having her make another queen size quilt soon. Yeah, so seems nice. Deanna Breeding and Joyce Thomas own that company, and I just thought I'd put it up behind me because I really, really like it. Thanks, sister. What have I been working on while I was on my week vacation and stuff like that, since I didn't do anything while I was sick? Remember the Treyesta made out of letlopi? And remember it was halfway through the yoke? Well, it is all the way down to the bottom and cast off. Hi down there. Isn't that really nice down at the bottom? I just love it. And so all I have to do is pick up the sleeves and do the sleeves. And of course at the cuffs, there'll be more of this detail in the cuffs. And I'm really looking forward to I'm looking forward to going anywhere where I could wear it, because I live in West Palm Beach, Florida. And not even on our coldest day, I'd be ripping this puppy off. It is warm just sitting on my lap. So I'm interested in seeing how it felts up. It's supposed to felt up, I think, with body heat, and then it becomes more waterproof over time as you wear it, and it felts to itself. Because it is letlopi, it sticks to itself. Look at those lovely, lovely floats. Wowzer. Lovely. Sometimes I amaze myself. But that's what I was working on. I did cast on just a pair of socks using Hinkston handmade self-striping yarn. But I did not bring that over. That's out in the car, actually, because it's now my car knitting. And I am practicing knitting those socks 2 at a time. Though, now that I understand the process of 2 at a time, I know right now that I am faster knitting them 1 at a time because there is yarn management involved. So, there you go. Those are the 2 things I'm working on. I did acquire some yarn since the last time I spoke to you. And of course, I belong to the Knit Spin Farm subscription service. And this year, they're trying some different things, and it was building off of their advent calendar, where they had a little story in a little village and about these sheep, some of which are self-aware and, well, cognizant of how people work and take advantage of that. So needless to say, they decided that they were going to do a 4-month story, and it's a sort of choose your own adventure story. So every choice ends up with different yarn. Well, this time when I got the yarn, they had sent me, the time before, they had sent me a thing saying, hey, if you want both kinds of yarn, since you have been such a loyal supporter, we will give you both because you obviously support us, and that's somewhat way of us giving back to you. And I thought that was really sweet. Well, when I opened it this time, I got 2 different kinds of yarn. I got both stories because really I was having a terrible time trying to decide which one. And I can't remember which one I chose. Probably the pool because it was blues. Ta-da! And this one is Pool Party, where you're trying to find the sheep so they can be sheared. And some of the sheep don't really want to be sheared right now. They're having some fun. And this, you're meandering around looking for them, and you find them at Dean's house where they are having a lovely pool party. And this was a pool party, and it's uneven stripes of watery blue, sky blue, pool tile blues, and a very deep magenta umbrella. And the sheep are having great time on pool slides and having an alfalfa and coconut milk, an alfalfa and coconut milk cocktail, which the sheep are pretending is alcohol, and they're all pretending like they're drunk. And it's called a sheepa colada. Yeah. So this is the one for the pool party choice. And this one was that was Targhee Sport, by the way. Targhee Sport. And then I also get the DK version and 100% merino DK version. And this one was Garden Party. And this one was where the local Joe, who cares about his garden a lot, and the sheep were in there kind of wrecking it up. So he's decided to train the sheep to look for weeds, which are good and beneficial for sheep, which is burdock. And so he's telling them, he's teaching them to go and get the weeds out, which are the burdock, and come back with them, and he would give them a treat. And he's like, rhubarb bad, burdock good. And so he's teaching the sheep how to go and weed his garden. And then he comes back, and they all get a treat for doing that. And this is the colorway for the garden. The garden here, it's called Garden Party. And the color, growing stripes of broken planter, daffodil, breakfast radish, lilac, new leaves, and old grass. I really like that terracotta. It's like a broken planter. I thought that was kind of cool. Yeah. So that is that. And that's in merino DK. By the way, merino DK from Knitspin Farm makes excellent hats. I mean, it's just beautiful hats. The circle, the stripes make beautiful hats. And of course, you get the stories along with them, and you're following along in the stories. and they send you an additional story when it's time to choose your yarn, and it's all fun, and I'm really enjoying this little story 4 months. I guess it will end in May, because it's 4 months. So February, March, April, May, I think. I don't think it started in January. Also, remember I was telling you that I had gotten ordered some yarn that was on sale on Hingston Handmaid's. I think it was a 25% sale or a 30% sale. I can't remember. So I got three skeins of her yarn. And I can't remember if I showed this to you before, but I am actually using the Autumn Stroll, which is probably what you can imagine. It's all autumny colors, like leafy oranges and reds and browns and greens and things. But this one here is called Matchy Matchy Jitterbug Fingering, and that one was also a Matchy Matchy Jitterbug Fingering in the Autumn Stroll. So I figured that would work well since it's already in 2 equal distributions, we hand wound them in balls. And this one is I don't know. I don't see the name on it. That's weird. But I think it's called Christmas Cabin. I don't remember. I don't know. I really liked it. It's kind of cool. And this one, I think this one was my favorite one. This one was called Manuscript. This one was called Manuscript. And can't you just see that? The red markings for things that have been marked out, the gray for the pencil, the eraser, the whole 9 yards. I'm just like, oh, I love it. I love it. I got this in sport sock to make some nice cozy socks. I was like very happy with that. But that was the stuff I got from Hingston Handmade. I also, on my trip, I stopped at 2 places. One was in Inverness, and I didn't even think about this. The second time I've been to this one. It's called the Fiber Art Gallery in Inverness, Florida. It's a tiny little shop, only 2 rooms, and it is on the 3rd floor of the Masonic Lodge on the what they have called their main street, which was the old main street, where there used to be like a soda fountain in the Masonic Lodge building, and now it's just office building space. So while I was there, I came across a dyer that I have. I know, actually, I have known her personally, but not for probably a good decade now. And I was surprised to find and pleased that she is still dyeing. She is locally out of Florida. She's from Sarasota area. I don't know exactly where she lives, but in the Sarasota area. And her dye name is called Nitty Bee. She named it after her daughter, I do believe. And she names all of her yarns after some of the islands in Florida. So like there's one that's Siesta Key. This one is Largo. And this is 50% alpaca, 25% silk, and 25% linen. And I thought, scream to me, summer top. And I'm a t-shirt type of girl. I don't usually wear just tanks. So I was looking through my favorites and my library, and I came across the Treyesta tee, and somebody had made a Treyesta tee in Nitty B in the Largo, and I thought, ooh. So what I did is, just to be on the safe side, I bought it all. I bought the Naked colorway. Oh my God, look at it. And it's spelled Nekkid, Naked. I love it. And the Kentucky Woman colorway. It's sort of yeah, that is a good color. It's kind of a dusty blue. And this is sort of like an undyed Naked yarn. So I thought I would either do a little bit of color blocking, or because the Treyesta tee is something that you can really make your own. You could stripe it with skinny stripes, big stripes, color block, all different kinds of ways. So I had 3 skeins of the Naked and she had 2 skeins of the Kentucky Woman, and I just bought them all. So if I don't use them all, yay me, I got some left over, and maybe I'll make something else out of one of them. Or maybe I'll just go on and find Nitty B on the internets and order some more of something. And also, while I was there, I did buy a few extra little things. And this is all Carolyn's fault. She says, oh, look, it's so cute. It's a little notions bag. Little coin-sized notions bag. Simple, no big deal. No lining, just a little notions bag with sheep on it. And I bought that. And this is the card for Fiber Art Gallery. And they also have yarn on cones for weaving. If you have your loom with you, your portable loom with you. She also had some US ones in the Knit Pro in this. I'm making a collection of all the different sizes. I have now 0s in Prim. I have 1s in Knit Pro, and I have 3 and 4 in, I think they're Clover or something else. I picked those up at way on sale in the back part of Joann Fabrics. So that was that from the Fiber Art Gallery in Inverness, Florida. Then, I'm just saying, we went to an alpaca farm. Now, for the last 2 years, we have tried to go to this alpaca farm, and it's called Funny Farm Alpacas. And we all bought. Both, my sister's best friend is also a knitter. And she and I went to this alpaca farm, Funny Farm Alpacas. And let me tell you, it's how many of these sheep and alpaca farmers are elderly women? I'm telling you, this is hard work. She and her husband had started on this journey, raising registered alpacas, and they were going to be starting a breeding program. Well, unfortunately, her husband became ill. He was a Vietnam vet, and he became ill from his service. And so they had to rapidly deal with that, and they couldn't handle the farm themselves. So they downsized. And so now it's just a rescue. And if you go on Funny Farm, you go to Funny Farm Alpacas, you will find a place. I think they also have a GoFundMe to help with the farm. And she also has a little yarn shop. She used to make her own wool, but it became too much work. And so she brings in other near farms, alpaca and supplies. And this, I bought these two skeins. They're called the Alpaca Yarn Company. And this is called Samatri, and it's a sport weight, 50% baby alpaca and 50% fine wool. And it is so soft. So soft. And it's really light. And I'm going to tell you, when I saw this, I got this idea in my head. Remember when I picked up, and when I was in New York, and I got a couple of skeins of Angora? And I thought, I think that I will design a wrap. Seems to me the easiest thing to do. Though I could do a crescent. I've made enough crescent shawls. I should know how to do that, right? A wrap using the two skeins of sport weight alpaca and merino, and the Angora. Should be pretty lightweight. It should be big enough to wear, and it will be warm and slightly fuzzy. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I have an idea in my head. I have no idea what I'm going to do with that. But that came from there. And then both of us bought one of these forget-me-not mitts sets with and she got another color, but I got this one here. This one was from the Alpaca Yarn Company too. Same company. And it was just a kit for a pair of mitts, and it came with all the yarn in there. And I got the green with the purplish and gold colors in the middle. And I thought, oh, yeah, not a problem. I'm not against kits. I'm good with that. And it came with the pattern and the whole 9 yards for like $26. I mean, you can't really go wrong with that. But she also had finished items in there, some sweaters, some hats, gloves, things from other people other farms that are manufacturing things from their alpacas. And so she gets them from there and she resells them in her shop. So I encourage you to go if you're especially there. She is only open certain days, I think 2 days a week now. And I suggest that you go. She had an alpaca named Jasper, and he's like so cute. He's like a dog. He just comes over to you and expects you to pet him. He sits down. He'll follow you around, and she gives you little pellets, which she calls cookies, to give to some of the alpacas. And literally, the visit is absolutely free unless you want to donate. It didn't cost anything. She is an alpaca rescue. And that's all they do is just rescue alpacas. Because she says that people sometimes get excited about getting an alpaca and they don't know how to care for them, and they end up, hurting the alpaca and they get sick. So she's doing that now. The next one, the next place we went to, and this is the one that I actually remembered to do a video tour of, which will also be posted separately for you viewers to go see. It's called ABit O Yarn in Engelwood, Florida. And it was a new to me LYS. I'd never been there before. Actually, I thought it was another yarn store that we had gone to before, but this was not. And the great thing about it was right next door to it was a very sweet quilt shop. Very nice, ultimately very nice people on both sides. Very friendly place, as you'll see when we go inside. But Denise, watch this when I show you what I got. I got a Mindful interchangeable set from the store. They had one there. Sorry, it's all wrapped up in its kit. And I will be doing a review of this kit in the coming weeks. I'll be knitting something with it, probably a couple of small projects. It goes from, I think, a 2.5 all the way up to a US 17. And it has a little set here where it has all the cords, the stoppers, stitch markers, all the things. I thought it was quite, even a needle gauge, if you forget. It does have a marked on there, but sometimes as you age, you can't see the tiny little prints. So you might need to do a needle gauge, just so you know. But it has 3 swivel cables and 3 non-swiveling cables. I do like these Mindful cables. They remind me a lot of ChowGoo, of which I am a big proponent of. ChowGoo is my preferred needle. But I needed a new interchangeable needle set to take with me on like trips and stuff. And I can also put in some sock needles in here. Or I probably could even fit my ChowGoo interchangeable, which I have one from 0 to 4. And it comes in a little tiny case like that. So I got that. It also came with a little container here of a tightener needle and some stitch markers, and what else is in here? And the little end thing, so if you're changing needles and putting things on hold, you can do that as well. And it has a zip pocket in here. It also came with a needle, plastic one. Actually, it came with 2 of those, and it came a set of big and little stitch markers, locking and circular ones. So it really is a very nice travel kit, if I do say so myself. It really has everything you need except even a pair of scissors. So just add a pair of scissors in there and I think you are good to go. So I'm going to be doing a review of this later on how they knit, how they stay together. One of my pet peeves are interchangeable needles that have to constantly be tightened. So I'll be looking at that. But this is what I bought there at ABit O Yarn. Yeah. So that was just a week. I got a bike ride in. I went snorkeling, or not snorkeling. I went kayaking for like 3 hours. I had a great time. So I do hope I'll have the arms finished on this Treyesta sweater from Jennifer Steingass finished for you the next time I see you, or at least have made progress with the sleeve as I enter into Sleeve Island. And I hope you have a lovely, lovely day. And I hope I have been a good concierge and have directed you into several different ways of yarn happiness. So I'm Dawn Frankenfield. This is Thursday, the 20, I don't know what day it is. The 20th. Ha! Tomorrow is the spring equinox. Awesome. So I do hope that you have a great day and enjoy and happy knitting. Talk to you later. Bye.